Hi everyone, it's Melissa here, and this week for my video I have decided to use the Pretty Little Kit, which is the pocket scrapbooking kit, and make a mini album. So what I have here is some of, here's the rest of them. These are the cards that Ringel has provided for us in the kit, and as you can see they are plain, which I love. So they're all double-sided except for the speciality gold one. And of course they match the colours in the kit perfectly. And what I've done is, I had this chipboard mini album that I got from a friend. She didn't want it, so I got it. And these are the inner pages. So it's got a big chipboard cover. But I don't want to use these as pages in the little album. I've decided to turn them into covers for mini albums. So off camera what I've done is acrylic paint with 3 coats of white, the back and the front, and then I've taken one of the papers from the kit, and I love this little sweet floral, and I have glued it on with my trusty Tombow, and then, I've taken my crocodile and I've just punched out the holes, and what I will do, because it's got the 4 holes, is just use the book rings. If you're in New Zealand, you can get these from Whitcoulls. I'm sure you can get them at other craft shops. They come in a pack of 5, which I find odd because it's an uneven number, but I've used one and I've got 4 left, so that's what's going to bind my album. At this point, I haven't printed off my photos, but what I'm wanting to do is do a little mini album about Snapchat, because I really got into Snapchat this summer, and so it'll be called Snapchat Summer 2017, and I will use the cards, and I've also cut apart a whole lot of the cocoa vanilla, cut apart sheets. I've cut them apart, and I have pulled out the ones that I think will go well, like Happy Snaps, You and Me. I've got the tags there, so those ones. And I've also, I haven't cut apart all of them, but I've got the little bits and pieces that from that sheet, or both sheets, here for embellishment. And then I have been through the kits and just pulled out some of the things that I think I'm going to want to use for my album, so I'm just randomly throwing them down here. I've got both of the steps. Probably won't use that one, probably use this one, but I don't know yet. And then of course I have got the pretty little pieces from the 3 different kits to work with, and the mini blooms, and of course the alphas and the numbers. So my intention is to not use any more pattern paper because, well, except for what I've done here, because I really want to focus on showing you how you can use your pretty little kit without using its pocket pages. Now, of course, you can use it for pocket pages, go for gold. I use them for pocket pages as well, but I just want to show you that you can be a bit more versatile. You don't have to limit yourself to pocket pages. Now, another thing you could do, which I have done before, is totally just incorporate it into the main scrapbooking kit. I love embellishing, so all of these, of course, and the cards, excuse the sequin there, can be used on an ordinary 12x12 or 8x8, whatever size you do. But this week, I'm just going to show you how I can be creative with that kit. So what I'm going to do, and I did think about doing this directly onto my cover, but I'm a little bit nervous because this is quite a thin stencil. What I want is, and I'm picking the nicest one, which is that one. I'm wanting that heart in the middle, and I'm going to use some, excuse my phone, texture paste and this one, Pretty Pink Kaiser Craft, to do this heart. So texture paste is here. It's a Ranger texture paste. I mean, you could use modelling paste as well, or moulding paste. But rather than do it directly on there, I'm going to do it on a piece of cardstock and cut it out. So I will put you on to fast forward and stop talking, and I will start showing you how I do it. So the first thing I'm doing is mixing some of my texture paste
with the acrylic paint, and I forgot to mention that that pink paint comes in the colour kit this month. So when you remove the little plastic or sticker tab, comes out quite fast, so just be aware of that. So I actually ended up with a lot more paint than I wanted, but off camera, no, I keep it on camera. I will show you what I do with the excess texture paste and paint. So I'm using some washi tape just to stick the little stencil down, and I know you can't see it very well. Please excuse my cat, that's Lola, she's very vocal. And I'm just scraping it on with one of those palette knives, and I just got mine from a craft shop, and they come in a set of 5, I think. So just scraping it on, not too thick, smoothing it over, removing the excess. And what this will do is, because it's texture paste, it'll hold the shape where the holes are, and as you can see there, it will dry with that pattern. And it's really cute, and it's come out exactly how I wanted it. So here I'm using another one of the stencils from the colour kit, and I'm using washi tape again just to hold it down because they are quite thin, and just spreading on the excess texture paste onto that stencil or through that stencil. That stencil has roses and it's turned out really pretty, and my intention is to use that for my layout once I finish this little album. So with the kit is what I'm meaning. So I just clean off my tools with a baby wipe. You don't want to leave them too long because the texture paste will dry and be stuck on there forever. So here I'm just trimming it out. It was still a little bit wet, and I did set it aside to dry. And I've come back now, and I'm using the 2 mists that we got in the colour kit. So one is a pink, and it's got iridescent shimmer, and the other one is a grey or a silver, and I think it's also got iridescent colour, sorry, shimmer. Okay, and they are both from Kaisercraft, and they're lovely. So just doing some splatters onto my white acrylic covers, and it comes out really good. And now I'm wanting to raise up that heart from the cover, and so I'm using some foam tape, or foam as always, and using double-sided tape to stick it down. So I probably should have sped this bit up, but it just shows you how I do it. I had overlapped onto the other piece, so I just trimmed it off, and then I put another layer of double-sided tape to stick it to the cover. So for this video, my intention was to do the whole album, but it hasn't been possible. It's pretty busy. It's a long weekend here, and when there's a long weekend, I don't really get anything done crafty. So what I'm intending to do is next week, next Tuesday, you'll see the embellishing part of my album. So I've got this little cutter part, I think it just says in the moment, and I've glued it on with Tombow. I think it needs wet adhesive onto texture paste to ensure that it sticks. And now I am doing my title of my album, Snapchat Summer, and I will be putting the 2017 on the heart underneath the in the moment. And you won't see it that well. I find that gold stickers just don't really show up that great on camera, but you can see what I'm doing there. So that is my album cover. I want it pretty simple. I have lined the inside with some pattern paper. Here are all my photos that I've printed. I printed out all of my favourite Snapchat photos from the summer. I haven't gone through and decided which ones I'm using. That you'll see that coming up soon. I didn't think about how many I needed. I just printed what I liked. And I print from home, so it's pretty easy. And whatever I don't use in this album, I will turn into scrapbook pages because they are so cute. So here I'm showing you what I'm doing. I've got the cards that come, the Project Life sized, I shouldn't say Project Life, Pocket Life sized cards, and then I'm just lining them up with the holes in the album. I used a pen, I think I've done that. Yeah, used a pen to mark the centre, trimmed off the excess where they're not even, and I'm just punching the holes with my crocodile. Sorry guys, you must think I'm having trouble talking. I am really tired again. The neighbours, or someone had a party last night and we could hear people yelling in the night, so that woke me up. And now I am going through the cards that I've cut apart. I think they're 3x4s and a few other sizes, and I'm just selecting the ones that I want to be in the album. So I knew when I cut these that I wouldn't be using all of them, but it's always good to have a selection. And I'm just keeping my photos above so you can see them, but also that I can get an idea of what the colours are on them and the colours in the album. So there I am, selecting the ones I've wanted. And that card, that says remember this, and so I thought it would be a good little title inside cover page for journaling, so I can introduce the album and what it's about. Because when I look at my albums and my pages, I always think, in the future, am I going to remember, or whoever's looking at them, are they going to understand what these really weird photos are? So it'll just explain a bit about Snapchat and how we got into it. So here I am now going through, and I'm selecting the photos based on the colours of the paper, but also I'm wanting to get a good representation of our family into this book. Now there's only one of Azaria, and there's heaps of me, oddly. I never take photos of myself, but I've had a lot of fun with Snapchat, so there's more of me than anybody else. So I want to make sure it's not all about me for once, and just include everyone as well. So there I just made the holes in the little 3x4 cards, and I went through and did all 3 of them. Then I decided that I wanted a border on my photos, a white border. This is the last part of my video, is me just gluing down my photos onto some white cardstock, which is how I get my white borders. So I'll be doing another one and showing you. Oh, and of course, once I've done that, I've glued it onto the relevant page. And this is what it looks like, totally unembellished. Next week I will be finishing it by embellishing each page, adding my journaling, and then filming a final walkthrough. So I hope you've enjoyed this today. It's a way that you can use your Pocket Life kit in a different way. I hope I've inspired you to think outside of the pocket, and I'll be back again next week. Make sure you check back each day for new inspiration from the design team. Have an awesome week.